I am Windar here with the NFL Central Podcast, Episode 3. We are finally back after a long wait. Josh unfortunately could not make it, but instead I am joined here today by Pack Runner. How you doing, Pack Runner?
Doing pretty well. Just here to fill out with Josh, right? Just here to just talk about like football news, what happened the past week, and we're just gonna discuss about like obviously Elliott and more stuff. So
Right, so we just got done doing the NFL Central update, the weekly update video. And so now we're going to be able to go a little bit more in depth onto each of these news stories that happened along the week, and then maybe analyze
Mhm.
some of the preseason games that we were able to watch, and then go from there, right?
Yep, exactly. Yeah. So what do you want to start with? Do you want to start with Elliott or just the biggest news, or we can also start with the mega trade with the Eagles and Bills and Rams.
Well, I actually wanted to start off with because basically breaking news literally tweeted out by NFL.com less than 10 minutes ago. It says that Ryan Tannehill will be missing the entire 2017 season. So he is not going to be coming back. I assume, well,
Oh, right.
I assume they're not going to make the playoffs. So that doesn't really matter if they mean the regular season or the whole season. But he's not going to be
Yeah,
coming back because I
that
know.
sucks definitely. Because I mean, we honestly most people suspected that to happen. I mean, like that knee. Remember, it was his right knee, right back in December, where he like tweaked it, and then but they decided not to do surgery so he could play for the playoffs, like some sickle cell treatment. So he played, but people knew that like his knee was like like they said like a ticking time bomb, like how it was eventually it was just gonna break out and it happened non-contract drill a couple weeks ago, and until now, like Rendar said, he's gonna have he's gonna have season-ending ACL surgery, which is really bad for the Dolphins.
Well, yeah, I mean, it's like that same recurring knee problem that he has had in the past, and now it's finally catching up to him after him trying to play through it and not get the proper help that he needed. So he's out for the season officially, and so that means that okay. So basically, the main thing that I wanted to talk about from all this is the Jay Cutler pickup that they
Mhm.
made at the beginning of the week, and the entire time I was very much against that because I know how bad Jay Cutler is and how bad he's been recently, especially on the decline. And I honestly think that Matt Moore would be better, especially picking someone up, this close to the season. I know he still has 4 preseason games to get some practice in and learn the offense and everything, but
Mhm.
still, I don't know how you feel about it.
Yeah, I mean, on the other hand, you can look at like Gase. He was the offensive coordinator for the Bears for like one season or two, like in 2015, and that also occurred when that also coincided with Jay Cutler having his best season that year, statistically wise. And then 2016, he departed for the Dolphins, and then he went on decline, a couple of injuries, and then everyone knew he went to the booth for Fox. But then, yeah, you're right. Out of
Right,
nowhere, like out of absolute nowhere,
right. Which I was
the
actually excited
Dolphins.
for.
Hmm.
I was, I,
Yeah,
Go ahead.
wait, go on.
I was so happy to hear that Jay Cutler was going into announcing, especially because he was going to be on Fox, which means there was probably like a good chance that he would have done Packers games, and I
Yeah, that
feel
would have
like
been interesting. He
it would
probably
have.
would have been like, yeah, Aaron Rodgers, man, playing against that guy. He's like a magician. Yeah, and then I mean, yeah. Anyways, no one expected him to be signed. Like, I mean, he was like completely out of shape. He was just set for the booth to make a
Right.
couple million.
There's that video that during a press conference this week after the Dolphins signed him, the reporters were
Yeah,
asking him if he was in shape or not, and he was like, I'm not in the best shape, but quarterbacks don't have to be in good shape.
yeah. And then I saw the editing with like the smoke.
Yeah, yeah. I thought
That was
that
funny.
I thought that was really funny because just like he clearly just doesn't want to play football anymore and doesn't care whatsoever, and like he's not even going to get into proper playing shape. So that just really tells you like all you need to know about his situation and his
Hmm.
situation in Miami. I mean, I think that was a terrible pickup.
Yeah, I know they
Um,
could have picked Kaepernick. Like everyone knows the Kaepernick last. Everyone knows like the incident with Kaepernick and stuff.
right.
But yeah, you're right. Like that Cutler signing, honestly, like I found that like extremely like surprising. Like Gase didn't have any communication with him,
Right.
and honestly, I can't see the Dolphins making the playoffs. Like with the Patriots are always going to be like a 13-12 win team.
Well, I mean, this year definitely could have been their year with Tannehill. Definitely, they could have easily made. I mean, they made the
Yeah,
playoffs last year. So,
Tannehill's like the franchise QB. But yeah, I agree with you. Like, I mean, the Dolphins do have a talented core like around him. Their defense is underrated, I would have to say. And then they also have
right.
Jarvis Landry. He's one of the top
I've always
receivers.
loved him.
Yeah, he's good fantasy wise. If you guys want to draft him, obviously with Cutler with Tannehill, that's going to drop his value. But we're not here to talk about fantasy football. But yeah, the Dolphins definitely have a good core around him, and then they also have that running back J.I.H.A. His last name wrong, but he was
Uh,
really good last year.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
so
So hold on. Yeah, Jay Ajayi is really great. I mean, I think they have like a pretty good team. Going forward. Hold on a second. So, I mean, they've obviously this isn't going to be a huge make or break, probably. Um, Jank is in here in the chat saying "Rip Tannehill." Yeah, Tannehill is officially out for the entire season. Um, I think signing Jay Cutler isn't going to be a make or break. Obviously, the make or break was losing Ryan Tannehill, but I don't know. I thought that just rolling with Matt Moore or actually signing Kaepernick would have been better. I mean, I know that a lot of Dolphins fans were celebrating because of the Adam Gase thing and the reuniting of them, but I still think that Jay Cutler is just he just doesn't care about football anymore, and it was this, like you said, this whole deal just came at such a big surprise of Gase basically not even having any communication with Cutler before it happened,
I
and
agree.
so I don't know. It'll be interesting to see going forward, but I think that obviously the Dolphins aren't going to do nearly as well as they would have with their franchise QB out, and it can't be expected of them. But still, either way, I think signing Cutler was not the right move. That's what I would say about the entire subject.
Clearly they were definitely desperate for like a starting
Uh,
QB.
Hold on, your mic is very staticky right now. Just so you know.
Okay.
All right, just take a minute to fix that. I was going to talk about
Okay.
if right now people are talking about CC is in the chat talking about Zeke and his suspension. So we're going to get to that definitely later. Yeah, I mean, well, actually, we can talk about that right now. That's the
Yeah.
other breaking news from
Wait, how's my
today.
mic now? Is it still like?
It's still a little bit staticky. You might want to try to unplug it and then plug it back in and see if that
All
works.
right, just give me.
Yeah. So, um, so CC is in here talking about Zeke. Um, Zeke is it's a controversial subject right now because we got people like CC in here saying that he is a domestic abuser, um, which is that's what the NFL is trying to suspend him for beating up his girlfriend. I think I'm actually not even completely sure of all the facts on the case because I haven't been following it very closely. I just assumed he was going to get suspended from the start, and now I'm right. Now he's looking at a 6-game suspension. But I guess what the interesting thing about it is that he right now does not have. Well, he's not. The cops didn't prosecute him in any way, and he's not like under arrest or anything. They found him not guilty. They didn't find any evidence of anything. So
Yeah. Wait, is it still pretty staticky? Is it
no, no,
fine?
no. Your mic is fine now. That's good.
Okay. Yeah. Anyways. Picking up like from Elliot. Yeah, this suspension, like everyone like absolutely surprised. Everyone's disappointed and stuff because Elliott, like last year, like he was freaking amazing, on top running backs and stuff, and him getting suspended for 6 games. Honestly, I can see how it's huge, but I'm honestly just like sheerly surprised because like Jones was like talking about a couple weeks ago. Yeah, Elliott will get through this. This is just a claim. Nothing's true. But the NFL, I mean, clearly wants to prove something. Everyone knows about, the Ray Rice a couple years ago, how
Yeah, of
the
course.
NFL just like absolutely botched it. 2004, like, they only suspended him for 2 games, and there was clear evidence.
Yeah, I mean
And
that was a new low. Yeah.
yeah, that was an absolute low. Even Ravens fans were like, "Wait, what? He should be out of the league for half the season." So NFL is trying to like prove, like, NFL is trying to show that it's domestic rules, like nothing to joke about. And yeah, like this, you said, the suspension is going to be pretty huge for the Cowboys. And these 6 games are honestly against like a couple good teams. They start off with like the Giants. They're also going to play our Packers at home, so
Hmm.
that's going to be like pretty huge. But they have a couple like division rival teams and contending teams. So they don't. These 6 games are going to be a true test for Dak Prescott and Alfred Morris and their running backs. Like, yeah. Mhm.
CC is saying ban Zeke for life. um, I agree with you. I think that the 6 games is going to be really big. I mean, there's just no way around it. I mean, you can argue that their line is going to save them. Their line is going to save them, but I think even still, and I know Darren McFadden is really good. He's always been good. And I know Alfred Morris is good too, but they're just not going to put up the same numbers that Zeke would, and because of that, um, that's a big blow to their offense in that case because not only does it mean the running game is different, but it means that the passing game is different and the whole rest of the offense is different because you don't have that running game to rely on.
Yeah,
So,
but yeah, go on, or should I go?
well, because I was going to say it's going to put a lot more pressure on Dak Prescott going forward, of course,
Second
because
year,
he's,
sophomore year. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now he might actually have that sophomore slump talking about.
Mhm. Yeah. But on the bright side, the Cowboys still have that amazing offensive line. Like, it was only 2 years ago that Darren McFadden had a 1,000-yard rushing year. So there's definitely not like no inexperience behind Elliott. And I mean, it is a blow, but it's not as a big blow as people are like making it out to be. But I think, I mean, the Cowboys might go like, I think the Cowboys might go like 2-4 or 3-3. But it's definitely like, yeah, it's definitely a big test for Prescott and this offense.
Well, yeah, yeah, like you said, the line is still there in the end, and I mean we haven't talked about. Obviously, Zeke is going to try and appeal it. I don't know how that's going to work
Hmm.
out for him. I think the fact that he's given this sentence without any evidence of anything actually happening. I mean, this is coming straight from the NFL, and if he appeals it, it's going to be through the NFL too. And it's not like they have any evidence to suspend him anyway. So I just find it hard to believe that he's ever going to, that the appeal is going to go through. But I guess it's technically a possibility, and it's possible that
Yeah,
Goodell was just trying to do this as some sort of publicity stunt or something. I mean, I don't know.
I mean, I'm not sure how the appeal works. Like the NFL, Tom Brady appealed many times, but it didn't go through. So the NFL might stand firm for this because they don't want to just show like, I mean, this huge suspension, and then a week later it gets. I mean, I could see it getting reduced to like 4 games because six
That's
games is
true.
pretty big. Yeah,
Yeah.
a reduce is like definitely possible, but like I just find it like like really surprising because Elliott's facing no legal trouble like whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah, yeah, but like in the NFL, like just decides like it's a huge suspension, and there's yet no proof, and Elliott's definitely gonna try to appeal this and see if he can get back on the
Well,
football field.
yeah, and I think, like you said, is the thing with Brady is Roger Goodell. Roger Goodell famously hates like the Patriots and Brady, and he famously loves the Cowboys. And
Okay, yeah, that's an opinion, but yeah, I mean the Patriots. I mean Roger Goodell. I mean I don't. Honestly, I don't really like Roger Goodell as like a. He's not really that great of a commissioner. He's definitely
no,
made huge
no
mistakes.
one does. That's why he gets booed everywhere he goes.
Yeah, yeah, you're right. But I just, yeah. Also, these allegations were actually over. It was in July 2016, so it wasn't necessarily like recent or something. So this yeah, the suspension's like I wouldn't say late, but yeah, it's just it was back there. So
Well, I mean, So going back to that is so that's why the Brady thing, those appeals never worked, is because Roger Goodell hates Brady and the Patriots. But like you said, going back to Zeke's suspension, is that it deals with domestic abuse, and the NFL
Mhm.
is definitely trying to crack down on things like that a
Yeah, that's
lot
like the
more
NFL's like shady area where they
because
definitely
of
need
their
to cut on
mistakes in the past. Yeah, they're
that.
trying to fix that and almost like overcompensate for their past mistakes. So it's possible that Zeke might not even get any reduction at all from the appeal. But I mean, it's also possible it might drop down to 4. That's maybe the most likely scenario. And if you're a Cowboys fan, obviously hope for that because they're probably not going to lift it. They're not going to drop a 6-game suspension on someone without any evidence and then take it all back. I just don't see that happening. But
Hmm.
maybe a
He's got
reduction.
3. Yeah, he's got 3 days to file an appeal. So we're just gonna see what happens in the next couple of weeks. Honestly, I really want to see Elliott more on the field. Like he's a great player. He's really dynamic, honestly, and he's a big part of the Cowboys' offense. So hopefully this suspension hopefully it gets reduced to maybe like 4 games. But I don't think so. The NFL is just suddenly going to revoke it and just be like, "Yeah, Elliot, you're just going to play 16 games. We definitely messed up," because that just looked bad for the NFL.
Yeah, that's true too, is because this is obviously like a big news story now. CC? Yeah, I see CC is saying he's a woman beater. So yeah, I mean, suspension has been a big story. CC is saying hopefully it gets suspended. I
Hmm.
mean, it gets extended. Um, dropping the 6-game suspension brings a lot more coverage to it. So then now to take it all back and just be like a major blow.
Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen, but we're both agreeing it. I doubt it's going to be completely taken away.
yeah. My prediction is I'm guessing they're going to reduce it to 4 games. I guess. Like, what do you think? Do you think they're just going to like?
Yeah. I mean, I hadn't thought about even the idea of a reduction, but that that seems reasonable, I guess, because
Yeah.
um,
For,
go ahead.
yeah. Oh, you guys might. This is probably isn't like heard by much because I mean it was just a place kicker, but you might remember last year Josh Brown. He was a kicker
Yeah,
for the Giants last year, and he got a 1 game suspension, and it was also for domestic violence.
and he
And you're
admitted to
probably
it.
like, yeah, he admitted to it, and I
Right.
mean, but this also shows like the NFL knows that Ezekiel Elliott's like a huge player. I mean, this is just a kicker, so it was only a one. That's the main reason why it was a 1 game suspension.
I mean, still, I mean, the NFL suspensions are ridiculous. You have a guy admitting to domestic abuse, getting 1 game, and then you have Zeke, who was literally found innocent by an investigation, an actual police investigation,
There was
and
yeah,
and now
no
he's getting a
evidence.
6-game suspension. I mean, it's just so strange to think about. So it's hard. It's really hard to predict what could have happened because honestly, I didn't think he was going to get suspended until this point. I wanted him to, as a Packers
Oh, wow.
fan, but
Yeah, I mean,
uh,
last year we did beat them, so
yeah, I know. But I mean, I still wanted him to get suspended. Um,
mhm. Because we might face them in the playoffs. Yeah,
so okay, well, CC is saying investigations can't find the person innocent. Well, whatever. They didn't find him guilty. You know what I mean.
yeah. So yeah. Anyways, just hopefully Elliott. It's just gonna be important. It's just gonna be a big thing to follow in the next couple of weeks and see what's gonna happen with it.
Well, I mean, at this, I'm not rooting for. My opinion on the matter is, I'm not rooting for a reduction at all. So, you
Yeah,
know, I know other people are gonna be mad at me for saying that, but
yeah, America.
I am not.
Yeah, the Cowboys are America's team. Am I right? Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, yeah, sure.
yeah. Jerry Jones.
Um, all right. So, do you want to move on to the Sammy Watkins
Yeah.
uh,
Okay, sure. Yeah. Let me
story?
just get this up. Wait, can we
All
just like quickly just talk about wait, just do you want to talk about like the Trubisky Glennon how Trubisky played I think it was yesterday, right? And he had a really good
yeah.
day, but we
I didn't. I actually didn't. I wasn't watching that game last night, but I heard stuff about it, and I heard
yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Well, I saw the stats. I saw Trubisky's stats today, and they're actually really good,
yeah.
surprisingly. And but
But
apparently, go
we
ahead.
can just touch on that. We can just say, yeah, let's just go to the mega trade between the Bills, Rams, and Eagles. Just,
Well, okay. Well, so to continue is that Trubisky had a really good day yesterday,
Mhm.
and then McGloin came in
Glennon.
and also had a good day. Or Glenn,
Oh,
that's right.
he didn't do. I think he threw a pick or two, but just shows the Bears like huge controversy. Most Bears fans are like really like angered like how the Bears drafted up to get him second pick, and like he didn't play much in college, and most Bears fans were pissed. But like he also had like he had a couple of really good throws yesterday, so it's just going to be a big controversy between Glennon and Trubisky. But but so far, the Bears say Glennon's going to be the starter for 2017, but that's obviously subject to change because Glennon isn't really he hasn't started since 2014. So it's just going to be exciting to follow for the rebuilding Bears.
Well, I think the idea behind that was to give Trubisky a year to really learn the game and get
Hmm.
situated behind a veteran QB and maybe learn some more about the game and how to play.
Yeah, because
And
I mean,
because I
yeah, you
think
go
he's
on.
capable, but I think um, I have no problem with that drafting. Obviously, a Bears fan would if you trade up to get someone with the second pick overall, and then he's not going to start for you. I would be pretty pissed if that happened.
Yeah,
But
he's going to start sooner than later. That's what I think.
I mean, I think he's just going to start at the beginning of the season. I don't care what the Bears are saying now. I find it hard to believe that Glennon will be starting and Trubisky won't.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean it's gonna be something to follow because Trubisky's like as I look at him, I don't think so. He's like much of a high level prospect, honestly. Like there's throws he can't make, but like
Yeah, I mean, he should not have went.
maybe he can start for like 6 years.
What'd you
Yeah,
say?
I think he can be like a solid starting QB, but he'll be like a Cody Kessler or like I don't think so. He's gonna be like he's gonna be the quarterback of the future for the Bears, but overall, I did not
Yeah.
think it was a
No,
smart pick
it
by the Bears.
definitely was not. It definitely was not.
Yeah,
There's no way that you can twist it or look at it differently to say that was a good trade and then
yeah.
pick. It
But
just wasn't.
yeah, just want to know how much playing time is he going to get this year in the regular season?
It's possible that Glennon gets injured. Because he's up there in age, right? How old is Mike
Like
Glennon?
he's like 26, 27.
Oh, he's not actually as old as I thought.
Yeah, I
Never
mean,
mind. Yeah,
yeah,
27.
yeah. I mean,
Uh,
I still call it a veteran, but he hasn't started that much. He doesn't have that much experience. So.
I mean, I can't. I don't know. I think Trubisky will be starting definitely mid-season or something.
Yeah, it's just going to be interesting to see because
Yeah.
the Bears aren't looking to contend anytime soon, and it's just going to be
Right. Right.
just going for like maybe 5, 6 wins this year.
Yeah, I'm sure that's what they're going for. All right,
Mhm.
so then you wanted to talk about the Sammy Watkins
Yeah,
trade.
so yeah, you covered in the news segment, but over last night, uh, the Bills like completely out of nowhere just like swapped their roster. So you guys probably know Sammy Watkins. He was drafted a couple years ago. He had a really good rookie season, but he's been dealing with a bunch of injuries. Like I don't know, I think it's like his shoulder or something. But he the talent's definitely there, but like injuries have definitely like plagued him.
He's a super talented guy, but always injured. I don't think has he played in a full season yet in the NFL. I don't think he has, right?
Yeah, I think he started like 12 or 13 games a couple years ago, but last year he started only like 8.
Yeah, exactly.
But he's super talented, and you guys know the Bills have a pretty young starting QB in Tyrod Taylor. He's honestly, I think he's pretty underrated, but like it was a huge blow for Tyrod Taylor because like now he's gonna like
Right.
harder. Like who's he gonna go to? I don't know Bills' second wide receiver, but yeah, losing Watkins was a huge
Matthews.
blow. Yeah, they got Matthews from that trade. So yeah, the trade was the Bills get wide receiver Jordan Matthews, cornerback EJ Gaines, and they got the Rams 2018 second round pick and the Eagles 2018 third round pick. And the Eagles get cornerback Ronald Darby, and of course the Los Angeles Rams are getting Sammy Watkins, and the Bills 2018 Yeah, and the Bills' 2018 sixth round pick. So
Mhm.
for the looking at the Rams, it's a really nice pickup for Jared Goff. He just got drafted a couple years ago, and like who else could you ask for Sammy Watkins? They could be like a huge duo. And again,
Right.
this is a huge year for Watkins as well, as this is his last year. Next year he's going to be an unrestricted free agent. So this is definitely a contract year for Watkins, and if he can still stay healthy, if Watkins can stay healthy, he could get some like serious money.
Well, if he could stay healthy, he could be a really good player, but he can't. So, I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah. I mean,
like you said,
mhm.
he's definitely really, really, really good and could be really, really, really good. But and
Yeah,
it'll be interesting to see what he can do on the Rams because he could actually be a really good receiver there, for especially for golf, like you said. And then, it all just comes down to if he gets injured or not, really.
yep. I definitely agree. I mean, just gonna
And
be interesting.
go
Mhm.
ahead.
Now you can go again.
Well, I was going to say, and in terms of what this means for the Bills, and it seems like they're just trying to go into complete rebuild mode, right?
Yeah, I mean they have a couple young guys that are going to be pretty good, but honestly, many people are like speculating why would they trade Sammy Watkins? And this guy could be like a franchise player. He's the talent's there, and like yeah, he's huge, and just trading him to the Rams, and he might be stuck with the Rams for a long time if the Rams want to give him the franchise tag. But yeah, honestly, there's some clear winners and losers, and one of the winners is Jared Goff. Like he, as everyone knows, he was last year's number 1 overall pick. And he had to start a lot, but he wasn't very good. But I'm still like you said, the Bills are going full rebuild mode.
Yeah, the clear loser in this
Obviously,
trade is the Bills. They got Jordan Matt. Basically, they got Jordan Matt. They got Jordan Matthews in exchange for Sammy Watkins. I mean, I know there is other stuff on top of that, but
mhm.
in terms of their
Jordan Matthews,
offense,
yeah, he didn't have a good year last year, but he had 16 touchdowns in his first 2 seasons, and then he only had 3 last year. But he's definitely, I think he's a high level prospect. But I think, I,
I mean, that's what
I
people have
think,
been saying about him for a while now, and I don't think he's ever really produced on what he was promised to be. But we'll see what he does. I can't imagine he'll do anything good. I just feel bad for Tyrod Taylor, like you said, because he does have real talent there, and LaShawn McCoy has been good there too on the
oh
Bills.
yeah,
So
that's
I
true. Yeah.
mean, if they had a receiving core, they could actually be fairly competitive, but they
Mhm.
don't now,
I mean,
especially now.
yeah. On the bright side, Jordan Matthews with the Eagles. He would have to compete with like targets with wait who are the top receiving corps on the Eagles? They got Zach Ertz and
Oh, they have Alshon Jeffrey now, Torrey Smith.
oh yeah they got that huge pickup with Alshon Jeffrey, but he's definitely gonna have the bulk of the targets in Buffalo. So good news for Jordan Matthews, I'd say.
Well, I mean, it's good for him because he was going to be someone that barely even played or played out of the slot mostly. But now he'll be a main guy there, obviously. And they also signed Anquan Bolden earlier in the week, so I guess that's going to be their two receivers going into the season. I don't even know. I mean, they're
Mhm,
sort
yeah.
of, they're in rebuild mode, like we said. So
Mhm.
I don't know.
So yeah, so
They're not going to
he
do anything special this year, and I mean, and I don't think they're planning on it either, because obviously the Patriots are still going to be the top of that division. So now it'll be
mhm.
interesting to see who even comes in second because with the Dolphins crippled at QB and now the Bills crippled at wide receiver. I mean, obviously the Jets might be the worst team in the entire league this year. So
Yeah,
they're
they
not
just
going
don't have any talent on that rock.
to they're
They
not
have
going
like
to be
yeah, they don't have anyone.
they're not going to be the Jets aren't going to be too much of a problem. But
Yeah, they're like a 3-win team. Yeah.
in terms of who comes in second in that division, it's just going to be a battle of who is less bad, and then
Mm, yeah.
that'll be how it works.
Just gonna yeah. Anyways, yeah, Jay Cutler, see what he's gonna do with the Dolphins. I don't expect much out of him. I don't know what the Dolphins are expecting out of him for 10 million in a year. But like, hopefully, he isn't a major bust. But then again, he was a former Bears player. But it was kind of funny. Like you remember, like he was terrible against us.
Yeah, he's awful.
Yeah, he
I
was
know, I know
awful.
firsthand he's awful because I like him as a Packers fan because he was awful.
Yeah, he just gave us free wins. Yeah.
Yeah, I believe aren't there stories of Jay Cutler of him saying that he purposely threw interceptions when he got mad at the team. Like he said like he got mad at his wide receivers. I ran the wrong route or something. And then so the
Yeah.
next play he would purposely throw an interception. Or he apparently did that once or twice. And it's just
Yeah,
like
Jay Cutler. Mhm.
it's like
Jay Cutler was.
how do you even deal with
Yeah, go
that?
on.
Like it's insane.
Yeah, yeah, Jay Cutler was definitely criticized. He definitely wasn't a leader for the Bears. Like
No.
I mean, yeah.
No,
And you remember
absolutely
that
not.
injury? Yeah, the NFC conference game against the Packers, like how he came out like an apparent injury to his back or something, and many people claim that he was just using like as an excuse to get out of the game.
Yeah,
But
he was just faking it. He's just like a crybaby, and he's not. He's to a team,
yeah,
and I think
he didn't
that's
leave he didn't leave a strong legacy in Chicago. Let's just leave it at that.
well. And like you said, and like something that people touch on is like regardless of your skill at the quarterback position, you also have to be a good leader. Like you have to be in charge of the team, and it's sort of like this intangible value. But I mean, all the great quarterbacks of all time, they have that. And Jay Cutler absolutely does not have that. So that's really been his main problem no matter
Mhm.
where he goes. And he doesn't have that. So, I mean, he can never really be as good as his talent and skill might be because he's just not a leader still.
Yeah, his stats. Yeah, he throws way too many picks, and he had a couple good seasons, but he had no unlike Rodgers, he had no like clutch gene. Like he could everyone knows Rodgers for being clutch, but Jay Cutler was like he had he couldn't do anything in like stretch time.
Well, no, yeah. And you know, people always say like, oh, Jay Cutler had nothing to work with. He had nothing to work with. Well, he had Matt Forte, Martellus Bennett, Brandon Marshall, and Alshon Jeffrey all on the
Mhm.
team.
And he had
You
Matt
know,
Forte.
yeah,
Matt
and
Forte.
so
Yeah, really
what?
solid running back.
Yeah, Matt Forte, yeah.
Hmm.
So he really can't have any excuses. You can't really make any excuses for him. And so on a Dolphins team, I don't know. I just think
Yeah,
that he won't be
they
any
were
good.
definitely really desperate for him.
Yeah, but it's the wrong pick anyway because he's not going to produce. He's not going to do as well as they think he's going to do.
Hmm.
All right. Do you have anything else on the agenda, or is that it?
I think we basically cover like the majority of the news. I mean, we could cover like preseason games. I mean, honestly, I only was mainly paying attention to the Packers, honestly, but yeah, preseason. All you guys know that first week of preseason is actually happening right now. We got a couple of games going, but
Yeah, it's actually happening right now as this is being recorded.
yeah, I mean, do you want to talk about like Colin Kaepernick and stuff like how he still hasn't been signed?
Uh, I don't think that's really a big issue,
Yeah, I
honestly.
mean, nothing's really
He's not.
happened. Like,
He's not going to be signed at this point. No one's going to sign him.
yeah, it's kind of ridiculous. The Ravens should have signed him like 2 weeks ago, and he's being like blackballed and stuff just because he did like some peaceful protest. It's just really ridiculous if you ask me. Like, he's a solid backup, and he actually had a pretty good season last year. But
Well, he
on
had a
one
good
side,
season last year, but he did embarrass himself in the years leading up to that on the
yeah,
49ers. So
I mean,
I can see why teams don't want him. Just looking back on his past legacy. I mean, regardless of the protest. I mean, like his actual play. I mean, I don't think I know people point to last year and his stats last year and how he actually wasn't that bad, but
yeah, 16 touchdowns, 4 interceptions.
he was really bad like those other seasons.
Yeah, I mean, he's on one side. He's actually been there though. Everyone remembers the Super Bowl. He almost won. I mean, he started for Alex Smith, and then Alex Smith obviously got traded to the Chiefs. But he was good a couple years ago. He led the NFL last year in rushing yards. I think 39 rushing yards per game.
Yes,
But
he was really good. I mean, he went deep into the playoffs, and then what? Then he just stopped producing.
yeah, his accuracy just deteriorated. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a reason why he's not signed, other than the protest, I think.
Mhm.
But
Yeah, because
I mean,
the
I still
Ravens
think
only
teams should have
really
picked
signed.
him up.
Yeah, the Ravens only really signed him because Flacco's been having like issues with his back and stuff, as you guys
Yeah,
know. And
he's not. He's going to be missing a couple weeks.
Yeah, he hasn't been like good in a couple years, honestly. Flacco
Flacco,
definitely
yeah.
like yeah. He got
He
that
has
massive contract a couple years ago, but he's like an average QB, I have to say.
he had that one playoff run, and then since then, that's it.
Yeah, he got a Super Bowl ring. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess since the Super Bowl, right?
hmm
Yeah.
That's
All
about it.
right.
As
Well,
NFL news, yeah.
yeah, that was the NFL Central podcast. Thank you for joining me.
Yep.
And
See you guys.
then
It was fun.
we'll be back here next week, hopefully with Josh, the normal cast, maybe someone else, maybe a new guest, discussing some other stuff. I don't know. Whatever happens next week, I can't tell the future.
Yeah. Have a good weekend, guys.
All right.